What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is my tiny fish room. My name is Jared. Today we're going to solve a problem that we discovered the other day when we took out those convicts from the 125 gallon tank. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Alright guys, so right off the bat, the other day we noticed that the temperature in the tank was not being sustained with the heaters that we had in there. And lo and behold, one of the heaters was burned out. We were able to find a replacement. We had a bunch of stuff in the garage, so we did get one in there, but they're both pretty old and probably both needing to be replaced. So I'm really happy to announce that a company named Hygger, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, reached out to me. They do all kinds of aquatic needs. Anything you need for your hobbyist aquatic tanks, ponds, you name it. Heaters, lights, filters, all kinds of different stuff. And they reached out and asked if they could help me solve this problem. And I very happily said yes. So we got some mail today. Mail time. All right, so what they have sent us is a heater. Whoa, a freaking 500 watt heater. 125 gallon getting an upgrade. Let's go. Okay, well, let's unbox this thing. Let's get the old ones out of the tank. Let's get the new one into the tank. And then let's do a water change. We'll see how well it brings the temperature up. After the water change, we're usually sitting about 77 degrees. We're gonna set this guy up to be right at 79 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's see how well this thing performs. Pretty high hopes. It has a digital readout, which is really nice because you can monitor your temperature in real time, all the time. It has presets, so you can set it up to be at whatever temperature you need. And yeah, just really Hygger. Really thankful to Hygger for reaching out and sending me this. And we're gonna put this to good use. We're gonna put this in the 125 gallon tank. In this video, you guys will see probably 4 or 5 days worth of usage on this thing. We'll be monitoring the temperature inside the tank versus what the readout is using other thermometers. And yeah, let's put this thing through its paces and put it in the tank. We're gonna start off first of all by draining the tank, doing a water change. For those of you who know, surgery went well. I'm back on my feet, so we're good to go. And enough of that stuff. This tank, it's got to be looked after. All my tanks have to be swapped out today. But my main focus for you guys is going to be the 125, upgrading this heater and getting the old ones out. I have to go out of town this weekend because we'll be filming for episode 9 about 4 hours from here. So you guys will see that when that video posts, hopefully next week. And yeah, we're going to do probably about 40% water change right here on this particular tank. We're going to get the water out. Then we're going to pull our old heaters out. Then we're going to install the new heater. And I'm pretty excited about it. So let's take a look and see what's in the box while this tank continues to drain. Let me get something set up so you guys can see what we're looking at. All right, so here's our box. This is a Hygger wire drawing aquarium heater. The specific one they sent us is for 60 to 135 gallons, 220 to 510 liters. You can see here the check mark, and you can see the picture. So let's have a look at this thing. I've yet to open it. I received it, and I wanted to open it on camera with everybody. Packaging is super nice if you care about that kind of thing. Feels great. Whoa. It's got padding on the inside. That's super nice. some styrofoam padding. Comes with some instructions. That's pretty nice, so you know how to set it. Okay. Now, whoa, that thing is cool, man. Check that out. There's the heater itself. Looks like it's a dual coil. So we'll be putting in sort of what we're replacing, but not on this scale. Look at that thing. Holy smokes. That thing is sharp. Yeah, this is by far probably the nicest piece of equipment that I own now. You guys know me, I do a bunch of DIY stuff and typically have built my own things. Not heaters, obviously, but I've always gone with the cheapest option, you know, Temu or what's the other one? I don't even know what the other one is anymore. Amazon, basically the same thing. But yeah, so let's get this thing set up into the tank and get those old ones out real fast. This thing's gonna be cool. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is chase these wires back to this outlet right here and get those unplugged. And we're gonna be getting these old heaters right here out of the tank, replacing it with something much, much better. The other one is plugged in on this side of the tank. I gotta figure out which cord it is. There it is. Aha! Success! Okay. Hose. Hose! Okay. There we go. Got tangled in the hose, but we got it. So these heaters, we will save. They still work. They just don't work very good. And worst case scenario, if we have to do some kind of emergency tank where we set something up, I always suggest if the equipment still works, keep it. Don't be a hoarder, you know what I mean? Don't keep it if it doesn't work. But if you can repurpose it, why the hell not, you know? So that's out. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take a few seconds to read these instructions just because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, so the heater just has to be fully submerged with the cord upward or at least horizontal. So it's got to be perpendicular. So we want some flow around it. So we're going to go ahead and install it right back here where we had this old one right there. And then we'll set the screen right here. So let's get that going. Given the quality of these things, I'm very excited to try them out. And I actually am already thinking about how nice it would be to have this kind of visual on all of my tanks. It's not something I've had before. I've usually stuck to the power strip or the, you know, the little sticky sticker strips, stuff like that. But this is just such an improvement. The design, the aesthetics. And aesthetics is never something I'm concerned myself with. Functionality is my biggest concern. But that thing is just, I mean, that is so cool. How could you not just love that? Love that. Woo! All right. Now let's see if I can avoid getting hit by the ceiling fan and get this thing installed. Let me adjust you guys just a hair so you guys can see what's going on. Okay. I'm gonna set that light down off to the side. Our pump's pretty much done pumping water. This thing I think will sit nicely right here. And we want it to be fully submerged. And ideally, as low to the tank, at the bottom of the tank as much as possible. Because, you know, obviously cold water will sink, and that's where the heater is going to be most effective. And if the cord's long enough, we'll probably put it horizontal, because I like to have the heater lower than when I do a typical water change. For the reason being that I don't have to worry about the heater when I'm changing the water, like killing the power on it or anything like that. So bring it up. We're gonna do something just like that. Okay, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hang this thing. It wants to be hung like so. Let me check and see, because I think there's more hardware in the box that we could be using right now that we are not. The other reason I decided to put it right here is because the outlet is right there. And man, the way I designed my room, I wasn't having any foresight into the absolute insanity that I would build. So some things are, you know, lacking in foresight, if you will. Didn't think about the fact that I put this giant tank 4 inches from the freaking wall, and now that's what I'm stuck with. But this thing right here, I think, is going to be perfect. We're just going to slap on the sticky pad that came with it, like so. Then we're going to peel off the other side of it. And if you guys are worried about your tank getting sticky stuff on it, you know, just grab some goop off when you're ready to replace it in a razor blade and you should be fine. But I think we're going to attach it just like so, right here. So that way every time I walk into the room, it's immediately obvious that my tank is doing good. And I really like that position right there. Obviously, guys, there's so many things that are a work in progress in this room. The lighting on this tank obviously needs replaced. It does not have a lid, but all those things are things to come, and I'm working on a budget. I'm not a wealthy guy, you know what I mean? I'm a blue collar 9-to-5 dude. I gotta work for a living, just like everybody else. So I build as I can and buy as I can. And Hygger, thank you so much for hooking me up, because this is a big help towards building this room and making it something worth watching and enjoyable for a lot of people. That's the goal. Oh boy. So we got power. Let's have a look. Nice. Temperature readout right now is at 77.3. Back to the instructions. Okay. Let me set you guys back on a tripod. Let's learn how to use our new toy. Okay. How to set it. Oh, okay. So, we're going to do a long press for 5 seconds. And that's going to give us a flashing light on the temperature. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're going to do a long press, 5 seconds. And then that's going to adjust there. And we're going to set our temperature to exactly 79 degrees. Nope, we want 79 on the money. How are we doing that? Maybe I just set it and leave it. All right, boom. So you just hit it for 5 seconds, and then use this dial right here to set your temperature, and then just let it go. It'll flash, and I guess that's flashing it into the little software unit here telling it the temperature is set, and so now it is actively heating the water up to 79 degrees. Very freaking cool unit. All right, guys, I'm gonna put you on a time lapse watching that thermometer, and we are gonna start filling up the tank and see exactly how well this thing works. So far, I'm super impressed. And yeah, like I said, Hygger, when you guys see this, thank you so much being the first people to reach out and help me out with my projects in my room. It's incredible, and I'm so happy I made the decision to collaborate with you guys, and hopefully that brings us a bright future together and many, many more, you know, aquatic nonsense from out of this room. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, we've been monitoring throughout the process to see if the temperature readout is the same as this is what we're using for reference. Sorry, camera's all over the place. But we're using a barbecue grill. You pick these things up at Walmart for about $10, and does a pretty good job. So let's see what it says. Getting 77 degrees in the tank, and over closer to the heater, 77 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But over here, we're 78.1. So we're 1.1 degrees off. I have another thermometer that was sticking in there. I took it out to put in a different tank, but that one was reading about 0.5 degree off. So with any heater, I don't think it's going to be exact. So this one came preset to 80 degrees, and I think that's why. I think they knew that it was going to be about 1 degree off. And I don't know if it's going to affect it or not, but I did put a small pump right next to the heater to create flow. So there's constantly water flowing past it and drawing in fresh cold water to the heater, as well as the fact that it's on the opposite side of the tank where this water pushes out from the filter. So the water should travel along here, get sucked into that pump down from the heater, and then keep going on wherever. But yeah, so far so good. Fish seem like they don't really care. They're just hungry. But yeah, super impressed. So guys, god dang, that light. All the information will be in the description down below. I'll leave links and everything. Product description will be down there. And like I said, they have so many different aquatic supplies. Everything that you might need if you want to build a room like mine, that's the place where you're going to go to get your supplies. Yeah, I can't thank those guys enough. This heater, it's just a game changer how awesome this thing is working. And like I said, we're going to go out of town. We have to go film a different video 4 hours from here. When we get back, we'll check the temperature. We'll also have our neighbor come by and monitor the tank, make sure everything's okay. But based on what I'm seeing right now, we're in pretty good shape, and I really, really like this heater. If you're looking for that clean, professional look, I mean, this thing is just where it's at. Yeah, we gotta do a little cable maintenance over here, but pretend like those cables aren't there. You come in the middle of the night and that's all you see, boom. You know you're in good shape, you know your tank's good to go, temperature-wise at least. And yeah, so. Might have another freaking breeding pair. There's a guy who commented, and he's apparently a master breeder and does not like the way I keep my tanks. And he says that I have too many mixed species. So I'm gonna do some homework, and guess I'm gonna be looking at Facebook Marketplace for some tanks, and based on what he's telling me, I need to either sell some fish or rehome some fish in different tanks. So we're gonna take a look into that. Like I always say, constructive criticism is the way to go, way to learn. So we're gonna take his advice and we're gonna look into that, and we're gonna look into adding more tanks. Probably get 40 gallons or 20 gallons that can sit this way. We can probably fit 4 or 5 of them down on that shelf, and then we'll figure out filtration and all that fun stuff. Not necessarily to breed, but to continue raising out the fish correctly, quote unquote. My fish are happy, healthy. Nobody's got fin rot or excessive behavior. So, not too concerned with it right now, but the gentleman in the comments seems to know a lot more than me, so we better look into it. You can't be in one ear, out the other, because if you do, that's not really learning anything. That's trial by fire, which I'm all for that too, don't get me wrong, but we want to do this the right way. We're going to get the right equipment, which starts up with the Hygger, the heater. Then we're going to look into new filtration systems and new ways to operate this room, this channel. So yeah, so stay tuned. I'm gonna show you guys several days of usage on this heater. Maybe we'll go through one more water change before we end the video. I want you guys to really see how well this thing works, and if it's a product that you guys would like, then please jump in and buy it. They have a special deal too. It's like every $10 you spend, you earn 1 point. All those points accumulate and can be spent on the website towards other equipment. So that also helps you reduce cost in your fish room. And this thing's still sitting right at 78.8 degrees. It's fluctuating a little bit. You see now the power's turned on. It's registering that it's a little below heat. So it's a 500 watt heater, and we're only drawing 230, 240 watts on average so far, with the temperature difference being 2 degrees from the start. So I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah. Let me know down in the comments what kind of heaters you guys use. Are you guys dedicated to one company? Is there a certain way you like to do it? Do you like smaller wattage throughout the tank spread out? Do you like one big one in an area where you can create flow? What are you guys doing at home with your with your tanks and your fish rooms? I'd really like to know. So I am not dedicated yet. I am trying to get to that point, and this new relationship with Hygger might be just that. So really looking forward to my near future and what's to come in the fish room. So with that being said, the tank is pretty much full, and we'll see you guys in about a week to discuss how the heaters performed. Like I said, maybe go through another water change, and we'll call it a wrap there. But thanks for watching so much. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please hit that subscribe button. Hygger, you're amazing so far. Your equipment is top notch, and can't wait to use it. So we'll see you guys here in about 2 seconds. Good morning, fish fam. It's a new day in the fish room. Let's take a look and see how well our heater has done while we were out of town. Pretty impressed. Okay, so right here you can see we had to bump up our temperature to 78 degrees. I mean to 80 degrees, excuse me. So we're currently sitting at 79.9 using 0 electricity. Let's grab this digital thermometer and check the temperature throughout the tank. Sitting right at 77 degrees. And sitting at 77 degrees. So the reason I say that's so impressive is last night in Colorado, you guys can look this up. Today's date is the 19th of October. We had a freeze warning overnight, and it got really freaking cold. And we were out of town, so we didn't have our heater on in the house. That means when we got home, the internal temperature of my house was 60 freaking degrees. It was freezing. And my tank is at 77 degrees despite how cold it is outside. So really amazing product. Really enjoy this heater, and I think that we will slowly be converting all of our heaters to something a little bit
more efficient, like this Hygger heater. And keep in mind, guys, the heater that they sent me is for 110 to 240 gallons. No, excuse me, 60 to 135 gallons. So they have 1,000-watt heater that goes up to 240 gallons, which that might be a real option for the 900 gallon. Probably need at least 2 or 3 of them in there, but this heater works great. Like I said, link in the description below. Check them out. Great products. They have heaters, they have pumps, they have lights, they have everything you need for your DIY, DIY projects like mine to upgrade them, or all of your aquatic needs for that matter. Anything you need for your fish room, you can find at hygger.com. And this specific heater, I'll leave a link in the description. You can find it on their website. You'll see my review right there with it. I am an active user of this product and I really enjoy this product. So with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. YouTube thinks you're going to like this video right here, and right here is the warehouse build that we're working on, episode 9 right now. Take care, guys. Peace out.